It's not good, but it's getting there. Eventually, this is a good way to start the evening, I think. Fantastic. All right, we're live. So, yeah, that's crazy. That doesn't, you know what? That's not good, but like I think it's I think we've done worse. Hello everyone who catches this later because it's 12 a.m. Where I am. It's 10 p.m. where you are, Mitch. This is the very beginning of the Fall of the Kaiju event. We will be, not we, but we, as in me and my dumbass, will be sitting in this chair talking about kaiju and giant monsters and horror for the next 24 hours, which is really insane. To kick things off, I went and bought a Japanese melon soda. Uh, to really, because I want to get crazy here. What the hell was that? Dropping shit already. And if I remember correctly, you have to like. Oh my god. Ugh, fuck. There we go. Oh, with the marble? Well, it always reminded me of like a ballpoint pen. Like, so was this? Yeah, yeah. With just kind of roll it on your tongue a little bit, see what happens. No shit. Um. Okay. Look, this is a professional goddamn program. I'm a prof- we both do professional programs. We're both publishers. we've we've in theory we've both been working in the horror industry a number of years as like professionals that people know and respect. It's, it's fun. Hey, the important part is the RESPECT. Like it's in there. Yeah, like they can't take that away from you. It's like I tell people, yeah, I'm an Amazon best-selling author. Oh, what best-selling in what? Um, New releases. Oh, new releases in what genre? Poetry about death. Like it keeps getting narrower and narrower. It's, and what's really funny about that is the like week before I got that weird honor. Max Booth the third had put out an article about shit authors need to stop saying. Number one on the list was like, stop saying you're a blank blank best selling author. We all know you just put about a book in the weirdest niche genre you could so you could get that fucking best selling thing. We know. It's not a secret. And so when it happened, I messaged him and was like, hey Max, Amazon best selling author. Yeah? But he's such like a nice guy and a good going guy. He was like, hell yeah, brother, high five. It's like it's you don't have to pretend, Max. I know the truth. We both know the truth. As I was saying before I got off on that tangent, though, it's gonna be a tangential day for me. Uh, my name is John Baldisberger, colloquially known as the Kaiju Poet. I run Madness Heart Press. I'm an author, publisher, podcaster. I do look, man. as Mitch is about to go off on what he does, when you're in this business, when you're kind of like on the ground hustling as we are attempting to, you do everything. Like there's not a lot you don't do when you're trying to make ends meet. So, but this is a Madness Heart Press event. We are celebrating the release of Extinction Peak by Lucas Magnum, which is now live today. You can buy it on our website, madnessheart.press, or you can go over to Amazon.com and pick up Extinction Peak there. Either way, and Mitch, what do you do? Why in God's name did I invite you here? Nice. That's insane. Yes, yo, fuck yes, God. I fucking hope so. I haven't gotten any angry letters from Twitch or Facebook yet, but like it's a coming. Oh, I Gore Gore TV. It's like it's gonna happen. um, when when you slapped my ass and I told you I wanted to talk to HR, uh, yeah, you told me tough titties. Which I then said I was need to talk to HR about that because that is more on brand, to be fair. Oh, all right, no, that's fair. Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the funny things is we we've kind of built our over the last couple of years at least we've kind of been building up a reputation and a brand around a franchise. You know, I'm building one around kaiju and giant monsters, and Godzilla is obviously the most well known of that. If you go to my website, you'll see Godzilla wearing a kippa and a yarmulke because like most people know it's like, oh yeah, that's the Jewish Godzilla dude. It's fine. Whereas like, you know, when someone mentions when I see a mention of Nosferatu and I don't see your name anywhere near it, I'm often very confused. What's happening? Did you guys hurt Mitch? How badly did you hurt him? Did was it consensual hurting? So that's fair. That's fair. So, um, fucking 10 years? That's a we're not gonna talk about Fangoria, for lots of reasons. For a whole slew of reasons, we're not gonna talk about them. No, I'm. Maybe off air. Maybe off air we can discuss that. For all sorts of legal reasons, we're not. For all sorts of legal reasons, we're not going to get into that right now. Um, but yeah, no, it's interesting because one thing I've experienced in the horror books and the horror literature genre is that, boy howdy, I put this music on apparently too loud. All right, it's not even like people can't hear it. It's fine. Oh my god, what am I doing? I'm a professional, I swear.
Super profesh.
Just like the lighting in my camera angle. Um, One thing I find interesting about all that, though, Mitch, is that as I got into the horror literature scene, I realized that there's actually kind of less overlap than I was expecting to see. Um, because we expect to see horror movie buffs, horror literature buffs, horror tattoo buffs, heavy metal heads, all kind of interacting and being in love with this whole genre, right?
Yeah.
And what you tend to find is that a lot of the people that love horror movies are not big fans of reading horror novels. Um,
Yeah.
uh, a lot of the and like I keep talking to heavy metal guys that have these like black metal like horror themed albums. They're like, "Oh no, I hate horror stuff." Like
What?
you you put out an album about a mass serial killer cutting people in half. That was the concept album. How do you hate horror? Uh,
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me.
and I had a friend who had a full sleeve of slashers. I was just like, yeah, I think they're cool, but I don't like watch the movies. It's like you have Jason Voorhees on your arm. You, I don't know. Um,
That doesn't make much sense to me whatsoever.
I was talking to some friends that were at a Comic Con.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know why they were there. They're like, I just don't know. Um, but a guy walked up. Sorry, Seven Years. Um, a guy walked up, full like awesome Predator cosplay, like professional level suit, and and he was talking to my friends, and after a few minutes, they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, man, I love Predator too." And the guy's like, "Oh, I've never watched any ones but the first Predator movie." It's like, how much did you spend on the suit? $7,000. Full Predator collection. Has never seen anything but the first movie.
Yeah. There's quite a few Predator movies.
there's a bunch of Predator movies, and there's books, and there's comics, and like, look, there's a lot of bad Predator shit out there,
Yeah.
but like even the bad Predator shit is kind of fun and like worth watching in my opinion.
Yeah, that's like I'm a Hellraiser fan, and there's a lot of shitty Hellraiser movies, but I still watch them all, and like
Yeah,
I still get some enjoyment out of like some parts of all of them.
I've watched all like what 9 or 10 of the movies
Yeah.
several times. I'll do it again. Uh,
Don't get me.
yeah, try.
I'll
Guess
do
what?
it right now.
This is now a stream of me putting another TV on top of my monitor. You just watch. This is a Hellraiser react video now.
Yeah.
The next
Me
four.
watching Hellraiser from 10 to 5 today.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Have you read The Hellbound Heart, the novella that Hellraiser's based on?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That'll
I
work
have,
out.
I have my puzzle box Rubik's cube, and somewhere over there I have a. I don't like that. I don't like when I can't find one of my boxes.
Where's my box? I feel naked.
I just feel like Doug Bradley's about to be standing over me. Open the box.
Yeah, I just posted a photo of me with the box and my flayed
And
Frank.
your skinless Frank mask. I love it.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is disgusting, by the way. I hate
Is it?
this.
It
I
looks like
despise
mayonnaise.
this. There was a strawberry version, and there was a grape one, but it was bright blue, so I didn't trust it.
Like, what kind of grape is this?
You
It's
know what?
grape.
Oh god damn! Why do I keep drinking? It was maybe it was blueberry. Blueberry soda? That doesn't sound true. Okay.
I guess so.
So, um,
Some good antioxidants.
I there's no way there's any thing healthy in this. There's no
What,
chance.
what was the flavor again?
Uh, this one is melon. I
Melon.
assume that's like honeydew.
Yeah, it looks like honeydew to me. There's probably like
Yes.
no honeydew content whatsoever.
No, none. According to the, I can't read Japanese. I'm not gonna pretend to try. But yeah, there's like it'd be as like yeah, I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. I've only watched 3 Hell on Earth.
That's it.
It's it. Like okay, there's other good Hellraiser movies. Like
I only like the CD, Cenobite, and that's it.
I love that fucking Cenobite bitch.
I do too, actually.
Like Hell on Earth is the most 90s film you could have made.
Yeah.
Like if I hadn't seen that film and I was like I want to make a like parody of Hellraiser that's just as 90s as I can get, that would be the movie I made. They did it on purpose. It's beautiful.
And like a DJ like turns into a Cenobite, so he's got like CDs stuck in his head. It's like,
Yeah, it's
CDs are popular, so let's make a Cenobite. Not like records. You don't want to put like vinyl records, like pieces of vinyl records stuck in his head, but CDs, because that's
Ye-
what a DJ uses.
I there was Hellraiser has always been a series that jumps between like really cool body horror and like what can we achieve with the practical effects and CGI we have on hand right now.
Exactly.
It's almost how like Nintendo will put out some new tech and then put out a really shitty game that just shows off that new tech kind of poorly. That's sort of where Hellraiser was at that point.
Like Firefox. Was it Firefox? Skyfox?
Uh, Space Fox?
I forgot
Star
the name of
Fox.
that.
Star Fox.
Star Fox. There we go. I said Firefox, and that's what.
That's a browser.
My browser right here.
You know how Nintendo has its internet browser.
Yeah. You know how they be browsing the web.
Whatever fan I did have, I lost when I called Star Fox Space Fox.
Yeah.
It's over for me now.
You're gone. That's it. You're washed up, buddy.
I've lost my gamer cred.
All your cred is out the door. All the 2 creds you had. Gone. Off the table. Sorry, buddy.
Franchise love is a weird thing, though, right? Like, because we do have those franchises that we like adore,
Yeah.
and then and like usually what happens when you just adore a franchise is you'll tell someone about it and they'll be like yeah the first 2 of those were fantastic, but then it starts to suck. And it's like, yeah, but like even the sucky ones have this thing I adore and I love about them, and like it's impossible to kind of get over that.
I mean, that's the same way with Hellraiser. It's like after you get past number 2, like it's like a pretty steep cliff there. Like they're all still enjoyable, and I like them. I'll still watch them because they're worth watching. But if it's like if you're gonna introduce somebody to the franchise, you're not gonna be like, hey, here's number 3. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, nah, this is number 1. This is the good shit, and then number 2 is like now we get more into like the meat of it.
I I rewatched. So I did Dr. Chenard as a Monster of the Week for the podcast Wandering Monster, which we'll be doing live in just under 24 hours, dudes. What am I
Whoa,
doing?
that's it?
This is a. Oh no, I have fucked up so bad. Um,
You did the good thing.
but but as I rewatched that, kind of like as with a critical, I'm like, yeah, this isn't as good as I see it in my head when I think about this movie. And then I finished the movie, stepped away, and I was like, yeah, that's a great movie. It's like when you get a tattoo, actually. Like when you're getting the tattoo, you're like, I'm a fucking idiot. Why am I doing this? Why am I letting this 7 foot tall man, my tattoo artist is very tall, dig into my skin with needles? Like, and he's starting to talk about politics, so he's getting angrier and putting more and more weight into his hand.
Oh,
And then like afterwards, after the itching stops, you're like, yeah, fucking awesome. I'm gonna go get another one.
right?
The minute it's over.
Like, oh, this hurts, this sucks, now it's itching, this is terrible. And you're like, oh, I need another tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of which, I need a new tattoo.
I saw that you were posting about that the other day. Do you have a plan for your next
Nah. I have like I started a tattoo on my upper left on my arm with an artist in Austin, and uh it, there was a point where like I had to pay for it was like either like finish my tattoo or pay for my Texas Frightmare booth. So I was like, and I had to pay for the booth, and then after that, I just never had the money or was never around to be able to like pay and finish it. Um, but
Yeah.
then yeah. So, but there's tattoos that I have in mind. But if I was to get another tattoo, it's not like I'm like I got this idea set in my brain.
I have the good fortune or maybe bad fortune to have my tattoos kind of mapped out. So like I know like there's no like, oh, I want to get X, so I'll go get X. Like I know like, okay, next I'm getting this part and then this. I know what's going here. And then once this arm is finished, this arm is getting the Godzilla versus Biollante sleeve. And that's probably going to be another year in the making. So like I don't get any like new fresh idea tattoos for at least another year, maybe longer, depending on how long this motherfucking pandemic lasts.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, the pandemic is definitely one thing that's like kind of stopping me from even kind of going that route. I usually get like a tattoo a year at least around my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like, oh, it's my birthday. Oh, like the last one I got was like you can't really see it from this angle. It's a shark with like in like bloody water.
Now I comment on that shark when we first met.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we were at the goth pool party
Oh yeah.
over at the Vampire Parlor, the
Yeah.
Glass Coffin here in Austin.
Yeah.
Had not met you before that, but we exchanged information, chatted a little, because I was just kind of breaking into the industry at that point.
Yeah.
Uh, and you were kind of desperate for vendors for your holy shit, what event was that? It was at that little bar, um, Guar, your Guar.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Texas Miss.
yeah, Texas, your Guar event, Texas Mist. That was. We've talked about that show before.
Yeah.
Like my journey from I don't know if this is our thing to like we made money. We'll do this shit again.
This
Just
was
any day. It was a fun time.
blood wrestling, and fucking yeah, cake throwing.
Uh, for those of you who don't know, it was a cool show. Mitch does these shows that combine burlesque, like horror burlesque and heavy metal burlesque with like blood wrestling, which is mud wrestling only with blood or slime.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
so it's kind of this like psychosexual ultra violent, heavy metal slash heavy metal slash punk event where you can also buy a book to hide your boner.
I'm standing in front holding my
Your
art book.
exactly. So, at this event, we were like, we wanted to be where the light was, and there was a little light right next to the back of the bar.
Oh, we were doing blood showers too, weren't
Yep,
we?
there was, yeah, directly behind. Like it looked like the blood showers were part of the book booth,
Totally
which
were.
my wife has not approved of that particular marketing scheme yet. But I feel it has legs.
Yeah, I could make that happen for you.
So, like, people would come up. So, whenever we do events, one of the main, especially if they're like horror movie events, main thing that happens is people walk up to our booth, see that we have books, and just like we don't have anything other than books. Like, we don't have paintings, we don't have pins, or like, you have a lot of
Yeah.
those people that sell like posters of Pikachu wearing Jason Voorhees mask or that kind of bullshit. We don't have any of that. We just have books. And so
I
people
think that's
will
all you need to carry from now on. Pikachu wearing Jason Voorhees.
just various slasher versions of
That
Pikachu.
that's you.
It's me. But no, fuck off. And and so people will walk up to our booth, see that we have books and just books, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I don't read." And then they'll just stand there and stare at me like I'm supposed to figure that out, like sort that out for them.
You're like, do you want me to like convince you why you should read? Like, what is
Do you want me to read the book to you?
right?
I won't, but like, I mean, I will. Definitely will. You can find my books on Audibles.
Yeah. Do you have audiobooks?
we, uh, kind of.
Kind of.
Well, we started, but the narrator for the first Madness Heart Press book just ghosted on me. So yeah, I have I as an author have an audiobook coming out, but it's not a Madness Heart Press book. So
Cheating on yourself.
yeah, so people will do that, just kind of stand there for a few minutes and talk about how they don't read, and look at the covers and then walk away, or they'll tell me about how they want to be a writer and how they are an author. Go, yeah, what have you written? Well, I haven't written anything yet. Okay, you're not really a writer then. Like,
Well, they read, but they don't read, but they're a writer.
yeah, which that's a tough needle to thread, by the way.
Like, you gotta kind of do one to be able to do the other stuff.
Yeah, you really.
It's gonna be all Dr. Seuss. But
Yeah.
not as good. By any means.
It's going to be God. Oh, who's the crazy bitch that wrote the 50 Shades of Grey books?
Oh, I don't know. I don't read those.
Yeah, they're garbage, and I don't mean that because they're like into BDSM. BDSM's a beautiful thing if that's what you like, but 50 Shades of Grey isn't BDSM. It's just abusive garbage.
Wasn't it fan fiction for like
Twilight fan
Twilight?
fiction. And what's funny about that to me is Twilight in and of itself is fan fiction.
So fanfic of fanfic.
Yeah, Twilight was essentially like underworld Mormon fan fiction.
Awesome.
Oh shit, maybe I'm into Twilight then. No.
Maybe you are. I'm gonna write Twilight 50 Shades of Grey fanfic.
You have to add your own twist to it.
There's no twist. I'm actually writing it. 'Cause I'm not. It's not
No. I do need you to write that, but I need Orlok in it.
Okay. I mean that's not that hard.
I want to
Maybe
see.
he will be though. You have to read the book to find out. Yeah.
I like what I like about this mental picture I have right now is just Orlok's beautiful hog. No,
Like it's called like Next Illustrated, like Next. He likes Next. Yeah.
okay, all right, that's not good. Workshop that.
No.
But my the mental picture I have is of like a bunch of teens in a classroom in high school, and full grown adult Orlok sitting in the back of the classroom.
Is this like Coach Orlock? Are you watching? Are you talking
No,
about like
he's
Rick and
he,
Morty?
it's like Jump Street. It's 21
Oh,
Jump Street, just
okay.
adult ass Orlok pretending to be a
Oh, I
teenager.
see. Because everybody's gonna think of Coach Orlock from Rick and Morty.
I am not familiar with that
Rick and Morty.
character. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with Rick and Morty, but by the time I had and like the ability to watch Rick and Morty, was like in the middle of like the big, the fan base being a bunch of asshats.
Yeah, they are. I watched it just because it's whatever. But
No, it
actually, I
sounds
think it's like Coach Ferratu. I think it's Coach Ferratu is actually what it is. And at the very end, they're like, you should not like name yourself things that are tied to actual like vampires. That everybody's gonna find you. But yeah, that's what episode that was. But yeah, I had a friend that
I
was
keep
gonna be
drinking this.
cosplaying Coach Ferratu for Nosferatu Fest, but he never came. Just imagine like
Aw.
a PE coach with like the short shorts, but looking like Nosferatu.
So it's funny. The last time we actually saw each other in person was Nosferatu Fest 2020.
So,
I was selling books. Again, we did very well at that event. You murdered some people with garlic.
I did. You were one of them.
No, I survived. I haven't seen any of
Are
the
you
other.
sure?
Am I a ghost? This is You know what? This is a pretty shitty hell. Everything kind of went downhill
The
after
slow burn with the slow burn.
I. Oh man, now I'm going to be wondering about that. Am I
You're
here?
actually dead? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like some sixth sense shit. You see the red
This.
things behind me? I am the devil.
Um. But
I should really be saying this after like awake for like 20 hours.
yeah, come on.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Sex is cool, but have you ever stayed awake so long trying to entertain people that you started having hallucinations? Because
No.
I'm about to. Um. Okay, so it's funny to me because Nosferatu Fest 2020 almost didn't happen. Like
Very close.
if it had been a week later, it
Yeah.
would have been canceled for sure. Uh, we were talking about how like I don't know if it's gonna be dead or what, and it was the first day especially was no the first day was great. The second day was a little more dead.
Yeah.
But like when I showed up to set up my shit and shook your hand, you looked me dead in the eye and goes like, "You better not be fucking sick." Because you ran
I was
this.
doing like the elbow thing with people.
Yep. Because we we did Nosferatu Fest, and then like we packed up Nosferatu Fest, and then you hopped on a truck and moved to Vegas,
I did.
like immediately.
Like 4 days later.
Yeah, like that had to
See you later, people.
peace. Um. So let me ask you this about moving to Vegas.
Yeah.
How do you live without access to HEB?
I just actually I order everything and they just deliver it to me. That's all I do now. I
That's
got like
fair.
one of those like delivery pass deals, so it's like I don't have to pay the delivery fee every time. So I just place an order like maybe once or twice a week. But yeah, HEB, I used to love HEB. I used to go late night, so I didn't have to deal with any schmucks.
Mhm.
So I didn't like people before the pandemic. And I like them a little bit less than I liked them before.
Right.
I didn't think that was possible. But
Um, did did you stop going to HEB late night after that guy got his throat slit in the parking lot over on Old Wharf?
never heard of that. But the Old Torf
Yeah, yeah, guy.
HEB is not exactly the nicest HEB.
It was my home HEB for many years.
Was it?
I slit many a throat in the parking lot.
Well, found your guy,
Shit.
HEB.
They don't care.
I
They don't.
found him. Send me my $50 or whatever the reward
That's
is.
it. It's a sliding scale based on skin tone.
So I got like 20 bucks.
Yeah. I'm not
It's
calling
like a
AP.
Starbucks coupon. You're like, fuck. I drink Starbucks. Fuck this shit.
I I hate mandatory gift exchanges at work. Uh, Partially because I'm not Christian, I'm Jewish. Like, and
Right?
so like every time
Right.
it's like we're doing a Christmas gift exchange, I'm like I'm not. Fuck right off with that. But the team I was on, like, it was fine, and we did the Secret Santa thing. I drew a name. I thought about the person whose name I got. I went to stores. I looked through things. I found gifts that I thought would suit them personally, and I would do that. And then I'd always get a gift certificate for Starbucks. I don't drink coffee, y'all.
You're like,
I
what am I gonna do with this shit? Like, we get Red Bulls, I think, maybe.
just, yeah, just come get a Red Bull.
Hey, fuck your coffee. Let me get one.
Exactly.
How many
Sir,
waters can I get for 20 bucks?
sir, our coffee is grown on the finest trees of Colombia, then force fed to wild cats, and when they poop it out, we kind of wash it off a little bit, not that much, but we wash it off a little bit, and brew this super special coffee. Fuck you, give me a Red Bull.
Yeah. Sounds great, but fuck off. It's terrible. I hate coffee.
I'm I was almost disowned by my in-laws.
Almost.
They would very much like to disown. Not all my in-laws. Some of my in-laws
Maybe if you're
really like.
watching this now, we might be able to steal that deal.
One of my in-laws really likes me. One of my in-laws kind of tolerates me, and the other pretends to like me but definitely hates me. Uh, and but they are, and my wife is too, just crazy about fucking coffee. Like, they love coffee. Um, I do not. I'm not a fan of the. I've never been a fan of the beverage. Um, I kind of wish I was, because then I would, like, if I wasn't drinking sodas or energy drinks, it would just like my sugar way down and be healthier.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to drink black coffee.
Yeah,
Like caffeine without having to get all these calories and this sugar. Like, I'll fucking love that shit.
but coffee is undrinkable unless it's fucking cake or ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, like, it has to be like 10% coffee, and then like it pretty much has to be like I get like chocolate milk and then like add a drop of coffee. I got
Exactly.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So anyway, I was over at, like, my daughter was probably 4 or 5 months old, and we're over at their place, and one of my in-laws is like, "Hey, can I give your daughter my leftover bacon grease?"
What?
It's like, we're we're Jewish actually, so maybe don't do that. So okay, well, can I give her some of my coffee? No, no, you can't give my 4-month-old daughter coffee. Are you
That doesn't
are
make
you
any sense to me.
what? And like, the next time I was over, he was like, "Oh man, you have to try this new coffee I got." I was like, I don't like coffee." "What? Yes, you do."
I like when people like tell you what you like or not.
Right?
Yeah, you do. Last time you were here, I'm like, fuck no, you're fucking tripping. Were you on
Absolutely not.
LSD at the time? Got me mixed up with some other bearded dude? Come on.
Look, hey, look. I know I have a very generic look. I know that 90% of the men who in the horror industry are bald white dudes with beards, but like that's not me. I'm not the one that drank the coffee.
It wasn't me.
I need a face tattoo just so I'm not just
Yeah,
another bald white dude with a beard.
I'm for this. You should get the face tattoo. Do it.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Godzilla's face tattooed on my face.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I've never heard a better idea. You should. It should be like kind of like the old school like fighter jets though, kind of like cartoon looking.
From the 1990s cartoon series Godzilla.
Yeah, totally.
We're full of good ideas this morning.
Yeah, I got them all. What else do you need?
It's like it's like 10:30 at night there. You have no excuse for being delirious yet.
No, I don't. Yeah, other than almost dying from eating an impossible burger.
I wasn't going to mention your poop situation,
I only pooped once.
but boy howdy. Is it
Yeah,
okay? Is it is it considered pooping once if you're sitting on the toilet for like an hour and a half?
yeah. It's one session.
One session.
You
Oh, is
count
this?
each? Because so if you're counting like each piece of poop, you're like, hey, I just pooped 3 times. Nope. Are you doing a? Yeah, that's how you're supposed to.
That's how I did it. Is I jammed a pin in there.
You're just MacGyver.
I'm Drink MacGyver.
I mean,
When do I get my show?
I can give you the show. I guarantee anybody's gonna watch it.
Oh shit.
Horror MacGyver.
I do kind of like the concept of a slasher that's very like handsy with tools and stuff.
Handy?
I guess
Or like handsy, like
no, you just like
some machete.
rubbing, rubbing a wrench against his nipple.
Yeah.
Handy is definitely the word I was trying to go for. Um, I guess that would.
You're just a writer, don't expect you to use words properly.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's why I have editors.
Yeah.
One of my editors messaged me today, just like, "Hey, do you know the difference between these words?" I was like,
Nah.
"Is the story good? Yeah, story's good, but like, do you know?" I was like, "I don't need to. That's why I have you. That's why I have the editor. So I don't need to write good. I just need to tell story good. You turn it to good right."
It comes back like it's almost like what I'm imagining is like you ever seen It's Always Sunny?
Yeah.
uh, so he would just like write just random stuff and it's like, what the hell is this? You're just imagining your books look like that and then go off to the editor and come back looking all
It's not that far from true, actually.
they're like, I did the best I could.
I I used to be really diligent about self-editing and like trying to turn over a manuscript that was really clean and really uh basically I didn't want anyone to have to do any work.
Yeah.
But I kind of realized like I was spending hours on hours editing my own stuff instead of writing. Um and like editing is part of the process for sure to a point. Um I
Like Stephen King, he just like seems like he writes a shit ton of books is what I'm getting down to. Like he
yeah.
has like a sweatshop of kids in his basement like writing Stephen King books.
I I don't think he does, but on the other hand, like if he does, I mean he's rich and I'm not, so
Right?
follow the formula.
What I'm thinking is he just like writes out a bunch of shit and then's like, here you go, editor. Fucking
Well,
hand that.
You have to a certain degree because, like I said, I was just spending days re-editing for grammar and spelling. And the fact is like what I need to be editing for is turn of phrase. I need to make sure it sounds good, sounds interesting, and then leave it to an editor to make sure it's like correct. But having said all that, I would think like Jigsaw from Saw is kind of a handy serial killer, right? Like he's the slasher that's handy with tools. He's he's serial killer MacGyver.
Yeah, I think, but he does stuff beforehand, so it's not like he's not like like, hey, I'm like walking down the street and I need to kill this guy. Now, what do I have that I can put together to kill this person?
Okay. Uh,
I think maybe if we were kind of looking towards that, it would be more like the collector.
mm,
So he would go into people's houses most of the time and like set shit up. He seems more like a handy dude.
uh,
Have you seen the collector
I
collection?
I have definitely seen the collector and the collection.
Okay.
I think that's I remember the collector being a really enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
I remember the collection being confusing because it felt like it took such a right turn.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like that, like second movie, like how do we top the first movie kind of
Right.
formula. Like we're gonna take number one and we're gonna make it like we're gonna turn it up to like 1,000. That's kind of how it felt to me.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Is The Cell.
Yeah, I mean it had that definitely had that kind of vibe. I liked it because it kind of felt super 90s to me though. Like, hey, we're gonna have people in a club and they're gonna be like dancing and shit.
You and I
And
have already talked about how
one
like
is
turning shit like just going hard '90s is always a success for us. Not
I
necessarily
liked
making a good
like
movie, but
no, like did it feel like it was like the collector? Like, yeah, like it felt like something he would do, but like some of it didn't though. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like, did he go this big? Probably not.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. I what about like slasher A Team?
Slasher. They did something like that.
I'm gonna
They
get a Topo Chico while you explain to me what the fuck you mean.
there's like a Tony Todd and I think like Kane Hodder. There's a movie that has all of those dudes in it.
What you're describing to me is not necessarily A Team. What you're
No,
describing
no,
to me is
it's like the
what's that?
Expendables.
Yes, yes. What you're describing to me is the Expendables,
Yeah,
which I mean I'm kind of into it though.
I mean that's the closest thing we've got currently to what you were describing.
Ugh.
I have no Topo Chico, so I'm just sitting here like, oh man.
My original idea was to start the stream off with a Bloody Mary, but then I realized that it's it will be like 3 a.m. and I will be drunk,
Yeah,
and by the time Jay signs on to the stream, I'll be asleep.
yeah, that'll probably be probably exactly what it would have been.
So
Now
in,
it's less likely.
so now I'm going to wait until after Jay to have. Or I'm going to wait until Jay comes on to have my Bloody Mary. Uh, he only has he only has one kidney, so drinking in front of him is always a gas.
You're like, hey,
Can't do
can't
this,
can't have
can
one of
you?
these. That's a shame. Sucks to be you, doesn't it?
The man writes like 12 good books a year, so I have to rub it in wherever I can.
How do you write a good book every month? How does that? See, that's that Stephen King thing again. Like, huh,
So all he does is write. Like that's his job. Um, he makes a living from his books. So we've talked about this, and for anyone watching, we'll talk about. Jay's going to be on from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. What the fuck am I thinking? And what he does is he like plans out what he's going to write months in advance, like on daily schedule of how many words he's going to do, and how he's going to promote himself, and what he like has a task list every day of what he needs to get done as a writer. And like that's, I mean, that's frankly like I have my you can't there we go. I have my writing schedule right here. I have a digital version. I wrote this out for a friend, but if I don't have a schedule, I write maybe 15 to 2,000 words a week, which not a lot. Doing that, you'll maybe come out with one book a year. Using a schedule, I write 10,000 words a week, which is 5 books a year. And that's with me having a full-time job and having a young kid and a wife and running a publishing company.
All the other stuff that you decide to squeeze in between.
Exactly. And so for Jay, who's primarily just a writer, he can double or triple this writing rate without really compromising his time or what else is going on. He just he plans good. He plans good and he sticks with it, and he's a good writer. He cut his unlike me, he's a good writer. He cut his teeth ghostwriting actually,
Yeah.
which is like everyone in this industry kind of wishes they could ghostwrite because a good it's a good way to make money. But like you start writing your first project. I've written three ghostwritten books that are out there. They're schlock. They're schlock. Um, but but like it bothers you that like when you write a good line, when you write a really good line, it really can bother you that it's like, all right, cool, this will never get my name to it. I will never get credit for writing this cool shit.
Ghostwriting is a weird concept.
It kind of makes sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me in fiction.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense to me in nonfiction, like
Yeah.
business gurus and people that have done like really cool shit and want to like have their memoirs out but aren't writers. That makes sense to me to hire a ghostwriter, right?
Yeah. Like your autobiography kind of bullshit.
Yeah, the people that want to have like their story out there and need to have their story out there hire a ghostwriter. Then there's people who have shitty dumb lives, do shitty dumb things that they think people want to hear about, like Ted Cruz. Who they hire a ghostwriter, get their book written, and then buy all of their books off Amazon to bump up their numbers, and then get busted, and their numbers taken away. Fuck you, Ted Cruz.
Yeah, Ted Cruz, eat a dick.
eat an entire bag of dicks. And not like in the fun gay orgy way. These are like severed horse cocks. Fuck you, Ted Cruz.
Like Hellraiser, like dying multiple times in hell.
It's that one Hellraiser Cenobite that just got horse cocks attached all over his body. That's an upsetting mental picture, and I love it.
I don't know why it sounded like one of the like little doorstop things.
He drives cats crazy though. Cats hate that guy.
Always got a pack of cats following him.
I don't remember what we were talking about before we started talking about horsecock Cenobite.
Ghostwriting and Jay.
Yeah. So he cut his teeth ghostwriting, and when you ghostwrite, you have a schedule that you have to keep to. And so he got really good about writing a lot really fast and having it be high quality, because that's how he was eating and feeding himself. And he did an interview with Armando Amelia the other day, another guy who makes his living writing, and what Armand said, and I thought was brilliant, is some days I don't want to write, but then I remember I can either do that or I can work a 9 to 5.
Yeah, fuck
And
it.
it's like, yeah, like I work a 9 to 5.
So do I. That's why I said fuck it.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
That's what
Rather
I'm
not
aiming
work a 9 to 5.
towards Not doing.
Exactly.
It's so mind numbing that like I feel like I'm like self sabotaging like almost. I'm just like, oh my god, I should not have said that to that customer.
What is your day job?
I work for a car insurance company and I do sales and servicing. So like if they're like moving out of state or like calling in to buy a insurance policy, I do quotes or like changing stuff on their policy. I like go in and add cars and shit. So yeah.
I, I did sales. Taco Maniac, you have a question? Go ahead and ask your question in the chat, and we'll answer whatever your question is.
Ah, real.
Um, really, any question you have about horsecock Cenobite or tacos, like Mitch and I.
Oh, card cinema. Got tacos at the end of the hard cards.
I love taco Cenobite. Possibly my favorite Cenobite. Mitch and I are both admitted lovers of the taco, so
Yes.
uh,
Sound of my belly and tacos.
yeah. I was. Did you know I was in sales for over a decade?
I did not.
I was in food sales for about 10 years. Um, I'm not a good sales guy.
Meaning,
Like, because
like, do you want it? No? Okay.
exactly like like I believe in consent, including
Yeah. I'm not
including when
like
it
the
comes
one
to
that like
cheese.
forces it down there and like we're gonna buy the shit. Like all car salesmen, try to go buy a fucking car. Fuck all you guys. So anyways.
So funny story though. So I got laid off in 2019, and I started looking for a job, and a lot of the jobs that are just always hiring are insurance places, usually for their outbound sales calls. And I applied for one that was a like manager at a call center job, and the guy's interviewing me, and uh he basically asked, like, how did he phrase it? um he asked how I felt about insurance in general, and oh, it was a health insurance company. That's what it was.
Okay.
And I basically said, like, well, I could be excited about selling insurance if if it was an honest company and they were doing good things. And he was like, well, what do you mean by that? And
Like not you apparently.
what I should have said is nothing, to quote Mike Birbiglia. What I instead said was, well, insurance companies are in and of themselves thieves and crooks who uh, fuck over everyone they can in order to make their money.
I don't want this job.
I basically told him that he should meet up with Horsecock Cenobite.
Yeah.
did not did not get a call back on that one, Mitch.
Why not? I thought you were
Apparently.
shooing. I thought you were gonna be like, so I sell health insurance now. Would you like to buy a policy?
Would you like to buy
Is that what this is about, John?
this whole stream, this whole 24 hours is just me bringing on various creatives to be like, hey, you know how you don't have any money? You want to have even less?
Yeah. Do you need health insurance?
Mitch, we are, and I say we because I want to be a part of this. We are embarking on something called Gore TV.
Yes.
It is a little bit nebulous right now. We're in the planning stages, but I'm extremely excited about it. Do you want to tell all of our viewer about
All
it.
of our viewers. Well, this could be seen by many people afterwards. It's a
That's
great
true.
thing about the whole streaming world. You can watch it after.
That's
Like
true.
your aunt could go on and could be like, "Hey, you should look at the camera more."
You maybe talk less about horsecock.
That's actually why. Yeah, so Gore Noir TV is actually an offshoot of the magazine, so it's going to be very similar kind of like horror culture kind of deal. The way I kind of like imagine it is a movie that probably nobody that's going to watch this has seen, like UHF, like a like a public access, like MTV way back, um, like kind of like just a bunch of like horror people coming up with like the craziest stuff that they could think of to put on and just like have some live streaming elements to it and then segments kind of in and of itself for it too. So kind of like a VJ kind of deal. Like, hey, next up I got John's show about horsecock Cenobite. Check it out. And then that's when your horsecock Cenobite will come on.
It's a show about horsecock Cenobite solving crimes in the behavioral science division of the FBI.
It's a noir.
She walked into my office. She screamed when she saw my horsecocks.
Ask why.
She was nothing but legs. She was leg Cenobite.
That's actually my
Yeah, it's exciting, and we talked earlier about how kind of the horror industry is all siloed, uh, but at the same time, most people know most other people in the industry. Um, it's both a big and a small world at the same time, primarily because of conventions and festivals and all that stuff. We all meet up, we all have beers together or tacos together if we're in Austin, and it's a small world. So
Yeah, that's kind of how I want to like kind of bring people from the different like sides of horror all together. Like have like a segment that's like a horror headbangers ball kind of thing where we're doing like music videos and having interviews with musicians, and then have like another show where it's just like a talk show but horror themed. You have different like game shows, different things like that people can be a part of since it's going to be streaming. And then there'll be some already pre-filmed segments in there as well to block all that.
I think you need to have Joe Garcia do a sleeveless game show, uh,
Yeah.
where for a man who sells shirts, he sure doesn't have any sleeves. Um,
Fast custom game show.
where like he has people on and he asks questions about classic horror movies, and every time you get an answer wrong, you have to tear off one of your sleeves.
That would be over pretty quick.
Double elimination.
Like, how many sleeves is that? Four?
um, I think Taco Maniac left us. Unfortunately,
I think so too.
I was really excited that they had a question.
Me
Um,
too.
I was like, yes, please,
Man,
please interact with us.
Taco Maniac, this is another question. He's back.
What? That's going to kill me. Like the rest of the stream is just going to be like, hey, welcome to the stream, Susan Snyder, Slatterpunk nominated author. Earlier today, someone named Taco Maniac logged in and didn't ask the question. What do you think they were thinking?
Yeah.
So,
What could they have been talking about?
what is my dog doing? That's my question.
You can't see your dog. I saw the top of the head for a second, and then it's gone.
Magda? Okay, she's coming here. I'm going to introduce the stream to my dog.
Dog to your street.
Oh! Oh!
Hello, puppy. Oh,
Everyone, This is Magdalene. She's a bulldog. She is stubborn.
Sweet result.
She is smelly, but she's a good girl.
Stubborn and smelly. That's
Stubborn
me.
and
Just like
smelly.
me.
Yeah.
Stubborn and smelly, but I'm not a good person. I'm just stubborn and smelly.
Only reason she stays around is she's a good girl. It is now 1:06. Mitch, you have fulfilled your contractual obligation uh, for the hour. How can people find you if they want to check out what you're doing and see more of you and your clothes and your magazine and all that good stuff?
So you can actually, it's everywhere. So you just look up Gore, Nore, Noir, Noir, and you'll find my stuff. That's pretty much the easiest way. Because we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, Twitter, all of the social media. If you're on the social media, you can find the magazine. Nosferatu, that's the name of it. So called Nosferatu and all that good stuff. It's I make sure I'm on all the social media, so you can find pretty much me anywhere as long as you search Tolkien About. And that it's tough. If you're on Twitch, go ahead and give me a follow. I usually get like 15 followers.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually down. Like, yeah, if you click that, if you follow that, you'll be actually following and subscribing to me, and do that as well. Like, help your boy out.
Help out your boy.
Help your boy. Yeah, actually, that definitely follow. It costs nothing to follow someone on Twitch, nothing at all. So you can just do it and help us. Um,
And follow and watch his replays.
mm-hmm.
It's all free. If you
Yep.
buy media, like stuff.
Yeah, it's look, and Mitch and I can talk about this till we're blue in the face. One of the best ways you can help creatives is by reposting and resharing, because not only does that just get our shit out to more people, it also tweaks the algorithm on those social media so more people will see us. It's extremely helpful.
Comment and share posts is something that we have to do a really, really good job of doing. Both things.
Mm-hmm.
To show us what our job is doing and to show us that we're happy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helpful.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. I want to say that, like, especially you should be following the Gore Noir Instagram. There's a lot of cool shit that shows up there. Um, Also, if you do have money, go over to madnessheart.press and pick up a copy of that way. It's that way. God damn it, camera. That way. Pick up a copy of Devour, not the Dogger, the Extinction Peak. It's right above you. Just point up. Yep, there you go. Just buy a copy of Extinction Peak by Mangum. I almost said Mangum. Uh, his name is Mangum, Lucas Mangum. Pick up his book. Extinction Peak is about dinosaurs and the post-apocalyptic world that humans inhabit after dinosaurs take over. It is savage and bloody and awesome, like all of his stuff. And yeah, we will be right back. I will be probably doing some writing and editing, and then we'll get right into playing some probably Earth Defense Force, which is one of my favorite kaiju games. See you.